following program contains situations, material, and or language that is not suitable for all listeners. Viewer discretion is advised. The following program is brought to you by His-On Productions.
The podcast no one listens to, with Kevin Porter. Nice.
Ahoy, ahoy, ahoy. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What are you guys all doing? Coming back to the podcast that no one listens to. Kevin Porter here again for another week that was my life. What's up with you, the people out there, dude? Excited? Are you excited? That's the weekend. Woo, 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 woo. I'm pretty excited. I don't know if I could ever go back to like working a Monday through Friday, or I'm sorry, but like, working on the weekends, dude. It's like, everybody's working for the weekend, but actually like working on the weekends. I did that for so many years of my life, dude. And like, finally, once I got the opportunity to like have weekends off, it was like, yeah, I don't even care if I get paid more on Sunday. Like, I'm just going to fucking chill. I want my weekends with my kids, dude. I want weekends to like sleep in and hang out and be like a normal fucking adult. Cause like once you like get out in the workforce, dude, like unless you go to school and do the smart thing, and like, even those people are like, what, I'm $100,000 in debt now. It's like, well, I can't, sorry that, a degree in political science did not work out for you, but it is what it is, so. I don't know, I'm like looking at my desk. I had to like get on my desk today to like hang up some posters. So I totally got like some fucking like footprints on him. But yeah, man, I don't know, dude. It's the weekend, so I'm feeling pretty good. I feel a lot better than I was last week. I know last week was all melodramatic. I had my emo moment, so it was like the call. It's like, ooh, who listens to emo music? There's like an actual like emo station on XM radio. I haven't listened to it because I was never really into emo music. I don't know, dude. Like, I was always into punk rock, dude, and like ska music. Shit like that, dude. Some NoFX, some Bad Religion, Guttermouth, Pennywise, NoFX. I think I said NoFX. I don't know, dude. That was what I always listened to. But yeah, I got some new posters this week. I got a Mighty Mighty Boss Tones poster. I'm actually pretty stoked on it. It's like an old school, like for the like 97 or something. So it's like would have been like right after they came out with the impression that I got. I think that movie seems like that song came out in like 96. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. I'm not really good. I just remember listening. Like that was like probably like the first ska song I ever heard because I was like, as a kid, dude, I always wanted to be into music and stuff, right? Like I always wanted to be into music. So it's like, I don't know. I was like, oh, I want to learn about music. So I was like, oh, listen to 107. And I was like, Gangster's Paradise, dude. Like that was back in the day, dude. I guess Tupac was probably played on there, which I was never into Tupac as a kid, dude. Even as a teenager, it wasn't until I was an adult where like I finally like found out like why hip hop is so good, and like why it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, like with age comes wisdom, as they say. So Tupac's the man, dude. That's why I play a lot of Tupac at the end. If you ever listen to the audio only versions, like I always like, we sometimes have like a longer playlist. Maybe sometimes it's just one song, maybe sometimes two songs. Depends on how much effort I really want to put into it that week, like downloading a bunch of music. I have so much music now on my computer that like from just 4 years of like, well, I guess I haven't had this computer the whole 4 years, but at least the last like, I don't know, 2-3 years or whatever of having this computer. It's like just loaded up with songs. So it's a lot of times it's like, oh, cool, I can play this song that I used on an episode, like, episode fucking, like I don't even know when I started. Like I was talking to somebody the other day. We were recording Toker's Delight podcast, and I was talking to somebody, and they were and it was Mark Christopher. Okay. I'll shout out Mark Christopher on the podcast. All right. Are you happy? So, but he was talking about like, when he'd been on the one of the podcasts previously and was talking about something we talked about on there. I was like, dude, I don't fucking remember. Like, I'm sorry, but like I've done like, you count them out, dude. Like I've done like just on this show alone, dude, we were just about to hit 200 episodes. And yeah, dude, that's a lot of talking, dude. I when they say, dude, like just don't remember. I mean, I don't know. I guess you kind of remember. If I were to like go back, like, oh, this episode specifically, and listen to it back, I probably could like, remember the day, remember, what was going on. But there's a couple of times, dude, like I'll be driving around and like randomly, because like, all my episodes, they get like linked into my iTunes account and shit. So they're on there. They're on there when I hit shuffle, and every once in a while something will come up. And I think there was like a wrestling, like when we were doing the Totally Necessary Wrestling podcast, like a couple years back, one of those popped up, and like I really didn't remember the day. I was like, I kind of remembered it, but like I don't know. I think I ended up remembering. But every once in a while, man, you just you get thrown one where you're just like, I don't remember that. I don't know, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. It's like, I was talking last week. It's like, oh, maybe it's time to close up shop here on the podcast that no one listens to and shit. Like, ultimately, I mean, I don't think that was ever, like, something I was ever seriously considering. It was just, more doom and gloom bullshit in my head. It's just, like, as again, you're just tired. So I'm like, all right, well, let's just try to, like, simplify it, And, so it's like, all right, so I got some ideas moving forward of, like, how to address, like, and again, to say, like, there's a lot of work that goes into this. I mean, yeah, you have to, like, connect with people, and you have to be like, hey, here's my address, be like, hey, we're going to do it this day, this time, organizing it, like that, it's, I wouldn't even say it's a pain, dude, because you're just hitting up people, and like, it's not like I'm dealing with managers. I'm like, we're, the lowest of the lowest of the lowest of podcast in terms of just, you look at our numbers, dude. It's like, I'm thankful for that, dude. Like I was hanging out with my cousin the other day, and he's like, oh, what would be like your goal number? And in my head, I'm like, dude, we're like, I'm happy. Like, and I'll be honest with you guys, I'm happy if I got like 20 people to fucking download an episode, dude. That's, to me, that's cool. That's, I don't know. I've never been much of a person that's like, I'm very accepting. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but like, to me, it's like, it's never about like achieving, that next level or whatever. It's like you want it to happen, but at the same time, you're just like, well, I'm just going to do my thing. And if something happens, something happens. If not, then we're just going to do our thing and have fun with it. And like, that's the way I've always approached everything. And it's like, maybe if I had a little bit more drive, we could probably maybe get a little bit more out of it and stuff. But, and I don't know, that's even questionable too. It's like, I don't know, maybe I'm beating myself down like too hard on that to be like, oh, put too much more effort. And it was like, dude, I'm talking about like lessening my load at this moment, It's like, actually, Kevin, you do spend a lot of time on this. You're constantly working on it's either this podcast or another podcast or, going and doing stand-up comedy, and again, like, yeah, maybe it's all at an amateur level, but still, it's putting time in and, sometimes you overlook yourself, and like, I'm a very like, I don't know, I am not a person that like, I don't like to toot my own horn, it's like, I will you will when you, I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. It's like, cause like you do it when you need to, but then who's to say when you need to? It's just like, when something cool happens, just be humble and be like, thank you. Like, like, so like I went and did stand-up comedy last night for like the first time in 3 fucking weeks, dude. And I haven't written anything in 3 fucking weeks, dude. So I just went through my phone. And was able to, just pick out little things that I'd kind of maybe done in the past. And then like I used like one new joke that I ran like once, twice, maybe at this point, 3 times at this point, maybe. And so I just kind of went up there and, I was like, I don't know, I wasn't nervous or anything. I was a little nervous, but yeah, I was a little nervous. It's not really though. I mean, like you do enough of them, you're just like, all right, you kind of know what to expect from it. So it's just like, okay, we're just going to go up there and just try our best. And I didn't have anything memorized or anything. So I had to go up there and just held my phone with me the whole time, which isn't a bad thing. It's just a fucking open mic, dude. But like, I'm really trying to like really push myself this time, going in, because that's what I was doing, before COVID. Like, I was making sure that I wasn't using my phone, and my phone was strictly used to record the set itself. And I'd go up there, memorize, prepared, because you want people to see you and be like, oh yeah, he's ready. He can, book him on a show or something, yeah, whatever. But yeah, going out there last night, it's like, I'd say like everything bombed. Like, I think legitimately the only like, I don't know, I felt personally like, again, I'll say it, like, I'm not, well, now you got to come down and see. I'm not going to waste the joke on here. Which you do. Some people do that, but I don't know. You listen to podcasts, dude, and like those guys aren't throwing away jokes, dude, because they want to use them for stand up, dude. So, I mean, sometimes you come up with a premise through a podcast and whatnot, or you talk about a premise maybe and then you use it. But I don't know. And I'm just getting too far into it, dude. I'm going way outside fucking left field on this one, so whatever. But yeah, so I just went up there and like I got like one decent reaction. I felt like with the jokes that I said, and maybe people are just being nice, but a couple people were like, "Oh, it's a good set." I'm like, so just be like, "No, actually, it was fucking dog shit." It's just like, no, you're just like, "Hey, thank you." It's like in your head, you're like, like I need to go fucking kill myself in that back alley. That was so fucking horrible, but. I don't know. You accept the compliments, and just people are just being nice to you and stuff. And I don't know, dude. I don't even know what the fuck I'm trying to say, dude. I guess I'm trying to say I try to be humble, in that sense, like again, like I don't deserve anything. You got to work for it, And it's like, and again, I think I do work a lot on this shit, and a lot of it is just sitting here in front of a TV a computer, and recording, and it is what it is, man. Maybe it's not a lot of effort. Maybe it is a lot of effort. Depends on who's looking at it, I suppose. But I don't know. To me, it's kind of like, again, like you can use stand-up comedy going up there and just kind of like venting, like, shout out Jessica Schleiman, dude. She cracked me up last night, dude. Like, that's where all the girls last night like cracked me up, like legitimately. Like I said, dude, like, we came into the podcast last week. We came into the podcast last week, and it's like, kind of just again feeling like shit, and like, not to say like this last week has been bad or anything, but it's just kind of like a lot of it's just like, all right, you need to get moving, it's like clean the car out, like make sure, working from home, I can still do dishes on my breaks, and like, cause like, it's like I was doing that, but like kind of like get into a routine where like I'll just do it after work, and then you do it after work, but at the same time I should just be like trying to maintain focus throughout the day and just like accomplishing goals, setting goals and accomplishing goals. So I don't know. So like last night, like I didn't want to go to stand-up comedy, dude. Like I really didn't want to go. Like I really wasn't gonna go, but like again, I'm trying to get back into that mode of like, hey, you got to push yourself. You can't if I sit around and mope, like then it becomes permanent, and I'm not gonna do that. I've never let that shit fucking happen, and I'm not going to. So I'm gonna keep pushing fucking forward every day, no matter what. So like, I don't know. So what I was just trying to say is like, sitting there, I saw Lily, Bahia, and Jessica all go up and like fucking cracked me up like throughout. Like Lily and Jessica, man, they fucking like just cracked me up so hard, dude. Like, and again, I'm not gonna spoil their jokes or anything, but damn, dude, like, shout out on the podcast for those three, obviously. Bahia is always good. And then Brian Brisky went up there too, and like, he had some jokes, and like, it's like the concepts are good and stuff, but like, I don't know, it's open mic, and last night was like, it was like, you're performing for your peers basically, a lot of these nights, and it is what it is. You gotta take it for what it's worth, and it's just an opportunity to get up there and just be on stage, dude, and it's cool now because like going up there, they have a person that's actually running the audio and stuff, which is like definitely a key. It's definitely, you have to have somebody running audio during one of those shows, because we used to do it at the Sports Center. It used to be a paid gig, dude. You get paid like, I think it was like 20. I don't even think it was $20. Was it $20? Man, I forget, dude. It was either 10 to $20 or something. You got paid for that, and maybe I can't remember. That was a couple of years ago. It's been a while. But yeah, now they bring you up with music and stuff. And so like the guy just brought me up to some like AC/DC song, and it was so funny because like a couple weeks ago when we went to Seaside, like I went down because like you're in Oregon, so you might as well, if you're gonna get something nice, you might as well do it and not have to pay fucking taxes. So got a new pair of shoes and stuff. So I bought these like limited edition DCs. I bought these limited edition DCs, and like they were going out, so they were on sale. Like they were just trying to get rid of them at that point, but they're like, yeah, limited edition AC/DC DC shoes. So they're all like tricked out like AC/DC and shit. And like they're pretty cool shoes actually. And last night like was actually like the first time I'd really worn them out. And it was just cool as shit because I just got on stage. I'm like, oh shit, it's not even planned, dude. I got AC/DC shoes. Like how often does that happen? It's like never happens unless you own a pair of those shoes and you come up on stage to a stand-up comedy show to an AC/DC song. So if you're put in that unique position, then hey-o. But yeah, no, it was fun though, and I think what I was trying to say is just like, yeah, I really like getting out and doing stand-up, going up on stage, laughing at other people's jokes. Like it was fun, it was like, oh man, I love this. Like I missed this, Why the fuck was? And then I started thinking about it. I was like, I knew why I wasn't there last week. But yeah, the 2 weeks before, I was like, I don't even know why I didn't come. Like, and again, like, I think it was maybe just because I hadn't written anything, which, like I said, dude, I definitely want to be doing. Gotta fucking pause for the cause on this shit. I know, dude. It's like talk. I need to have like water. So I don't know. Every time, like, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta like edit that out. Make sure, like, you're not coughing on the podcast or anything. Which is like, dude, do it on the Zoom shit. It's like you can just mute it every time I have to like cough or something. Just like, boom. Which is, I don't know, dude. I get a lot of phlegminess in my throat, so it's not cool. But anyways, kind of limits you to doing a podcast. I do not know, but yeah, man, it was fun. It was definitely fun. It was definitely fun going out and seeing everybody last night. So I definitely intend to go up next week. Again, like I'm gonna try to push myself. I need to like sit down this weekend and like just go through the jokes and like really start going through the words and really just critiquing the fuck out of it and just try to make it as funny as I can and do the best that I can. So that's all I can do. And I think that makes me, it makes you happy, dude. It makes you happy and makes you want to actually fucking do stuff with your life instead of sitting around crying all day. Which, I mean, like you still have those days, but you still want to push through. So I don't know, man. What else has been going on, dude? What have I been doing for fun, dude? Me and Jay McNay got on and played some Madden here a couple days ago. Let me tell you, dude, that was that was intense, dude. I haven't played online in a long fucking time, so my first drive like really fucking sucked ass, dude. I ended up like throwing a fucking interception, dude. I was like the New York Jets, dude, which don't ever be the New York Jets when you're playing Madden, dude. Sam Darnold is a piece of shit, dude. I'm like X, press X, and I'm holding X, and the guy's like, it was like his arm is just like barely going back, and then get fucking sacked for like 10-yard loss. It's like, fuck you, piece of shit. And he's all the Denver Broncos, he's like the all-star Broncos from like 1988, the one that couldn't win the big one, John Elway. No, he was like the current one. He had like, I don't know, I forget it was like Brock or Osweiler or whatever. Wasn't that a quarterback for the for the Denver Broncos a couple years ago? I don't know, but yeah, we played and it was a fun game, dude. So it was just fun being able to hang out and fucking chit chat shit. So yeah, I got to play some Madden this week. Again, I haven't really been like watching a lot of movies. I watched wrestling this week. I watched a lot of wrestling. I watched that AEW show last Sunday. Jeez, dude, that was like, I was so pumped. I was like, how did Kick shit in the ring? Oh my god, he's gonna save John Moxley. And then like, woo, it's like the pyros that were supposed to go off to simulate this bomb explosion because it was like this Japanese death match. If you're not a wrestling fan, the match was good. The match was great. I actually thought the pay-per-view was pretty fucking good, dude. But that ending. Like I was talking to Jack Hennessy, and he's like, because I told him I was going to sit down on Sunday and watch it, and he's like 7.5 out of 10, and I was like, oh, well, all right, well, whatever, dude. I was like, what made it so bad? I was like, that's kind of a shit fucking number. And then I watched the ending where it was just like a bunch of sparklers coming out of the ring post. It was like, it was like Gilbert coming into the ring or something. And it just, the shit didn't go off, and it just, everything sucked it. Well, I mean, it didn't suck, because I still liked it. I still liked it. I mean, the ending, yeah, kind of was, but what they came out of on Dynamite this last Wednesday, with Moxley and Kingston, which they were obviously going to write them off TV with that, but now it's like, okay, well, what are we going to do? And they're going to team up to face the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson next week on Dynamite. So I mean, it's cool to see because they've been teasing that throughout basically since like the end of last summer or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it was the November pay-per-view. I think it was in November. So anyway, they've told the history of John Moxley and Eddie Kingston as friends. They like were going after each other for the world championship, but but now they're friends again. So it's like, shit. It's like all this, you get all these good feelings about it and whatnot. But it's good. Wrestling's good right now. I think if you're watching AEW, dude, like that's, and I hear it in NXT's doing good shit, but I don't know. For me, it's like AEW has been like must see TV every single week, dude. Because again, I don't have like a lot of time to sit around and just like watch shit. So I don't know. I guess I could watch one and then watch one the next night. I guess I probably could do that, but I just haven't been. Which, dude, oh yeah, fuck you, Peacock, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. So WWF Network is going away next month. Okay, like right before WrestleMania. So they've sold their digital rights to the Peacock Network, Universal or whatever. And they came out this last week and we're like, yeah, we're going to slowly upload all the old pay-per-views onto the network there. And like when the WWE network first came out, everything from all the past, was all on there, dude. And dude, personally, that's the only shit I watch. Like I watch the new stuff. Like I'll watch the pay-per-views 100%, dude. But I do spend a lot of time like going back and watching old shit. Cause dude, I mean, that's when wrestling was fun when you were a kid, dude. So you definitely want to go back and watch all this shit. And then again, I've been going back and I even watched like 1985, Starrcade 1985 or whatever, 85. And it was a different presentation, dude. NWA in the 80s. Like, I never really got around to watching any of that stuff, like outside of like WCW. But I don't know. We're going wrestling heavy on this opening, and it's probably not a good thing. I don't know. If you like wrestling, I guess it's cool. But if not, you're hitting that fucking fast forward button. Yeah, I got to shout out Jay McNay really quick. I'm just doing hella shout outs, dude. When I was talking to you the other night when we were playing Madden, dude, I called Russell Wilson a fucking baby for all this shit about going public and stuff. And dude, my head was just like, I was just really high coming off that fucking Tokers Delight podcast the night before, and I wasn't really thinking really well. No, dude. Russell Wilson is all within his rights to bitch about the offensive line being garbage within, basically for the most part his tenure as being the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, dude. I mean, there's years where it's gotten better, but this last year, dude, yeah, that last second half of the season, dude, like he got fucking sacked like a motherfucker. So I don't know. I don't even know why I called him a bitch or something. I was like, I don't know. I was just like probably the mood I was in or something. I don't fucking know, but I just had to correct myself there, Jay. So a text message probably would have sufficed, but if you do listen, then there you go, buddy. So I don't know, dude. So this week was fun. I feel good this week. I feel happy and glad it's fucking Friday as you're watching this or listening to this, and we got the weekend in front of us. And just like I always take a moment coming out of like the work day for Friday, and I always take that moment right as you clock out and you're like just kind of like embrace the moment. I think that's one thing I've been missing a lot of is like embracing the moment and living in the moment. And yeah, it's fucking, I think that's like key. I think that's so fucking key to life is to live in the moment. So I need to do that more. I definitely need to take my advice and fucking do that more. I don't know, dude. Like I said, man, this podcast, no one listens to you, dude. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to this. Hopefully this one day will grow into something else. But like I said, dude, saying last week, dude, we got ideas for other projects, dude. So eventually when it's ready to come out with those, you'll hear about those here first. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to shit. So this week's episode, dude, we got Timmy again on the podcast that no one listens to, dude. Timmy was actually like legitimately my first guest on this podcast. Way back in like 2017, I remember going to his house with him. It was Timmy and Aaron Bennett, and we played pool. And I know I've talked about this before on the podcast, but like we played pool like and recorded a podcast. So that's pretty cool, man. So if you get a chance, man, I think that's like episode 25 or some shit. Like, dude, you should totally go and check that shit out. Which I need to drink more water, dude. I need to drink more water. The mute button was on for so long that it's like, oh, you are muted. Press shift control. Go fuck yourself, Zoom. You fucking, you data stealing bastards, motherfucker. But yeah, no, Timmy was like one of the first guests I've ever had on. The first guest I ever had on this podcast, dude, which is like rightfully so, dude. Timmy is a fucking awesome guy. I tell this every time that he comes on the show, dude. But like, I remember like knowing of Timmy when I was in high school, just from the radio, because he's a handful of years older than I am. But it was always cool, when I remember first meeting him, dude. I remember that I had this girlfriend. I had this girlfriend named Amanda when I was like fucking like 13 or something, dude. And I don't know, like when I met him, I think it was like 16 or 17. I was still friends with the chick over the years. She wasn't my girlfriend at that time, but I remember her telling me, she's like, oh yeah, I know Timmy. And I'm like, whoa, you know Timmy from Cats? And I was like, that's badass. And then I met him at like some like radio thing that they did like in 2005 or something. Cause I lived like right down the road from Fred Meyer's where they were doing it. I don't even remember how the fuck. Yeah, again, like this is like 2005. It was like 15 fucking years ago. And I remember meeting him and I was like, "Hey, do you know Amanda?" He's like, "Nah, dude, I don't fucking know Amanda." He's like, fuck you, Kevin Porter. I was like, whoa, calm down, Timmy. No, I would not sully the good name of one Tim E. So of 94.5 Cats. But yeah, that always stuck out to me, dude. And Timmy's always been a nice guy, man. And then, meeting him down years down the road when I was doing my own TV show, and him and Aaron, being fucking cool guys, and like, coming and doing our TV show back in the day. Those years those are underrated years, man. I mean, like, I think, like, on my end, I definitely, like, being around people that had, more experience on that. I mean, you learn from those types of people, like, not to say, like, for lack of a better term, it's like kind of a big brother type. It's a mentor type thing, I guess, in a sense. Like, and even at the time, it's not even like, if you were to ask me when I'm like, 22, 21, doing all this shit, like, oh, it's a mentor program you're running here at the public access station. It's like, no, like, these are just cool guys, that want to hang out and do a TV show and stuff. And, here we are. But years later, reflecting on it and truly not even thinking about that specifically until right now as I record this intro. But yeah, that was like, I definitely feel like I've learned, stuff from both Timmy and fucking Aaron. And fucking, he says fucking way too much. Get the fuck counter out there, man. It's like if people do a drink game on this show. It's like, how many times does he say fuck? You're wasted now, bitch. So, I don't know, dude, but yeah, no, Timmy came over here. Again, a lot of these episodes are kind of backlogged, in a sense, so like, it was about a month ago or so we recorded this one, and it was fun, dude. It was totally fun. And I have Timmy on here again a million other times, dude. So be on the lookout. He talks about it, but at some point, dude, Timmy will have a podcast sometime this year, hopefully. And yours truly is going to be a guest on there. So I'm looking forward to that. So, all right, man. As always, you can find Are You Ready? A Professional Wrestling Podcast every single Monday, 4:20 in the morning. You could always check us out there. Find Timmy, dude, every single morning, dude, on 94.5 Cats, dude. Again, you can find that on the Radio Pup app. I know that because I've downloaded the Radio Pup app. Trying to get Seahawks mobile, which always pissed me off, dude, because like trying to get the radio stream on your phone is really, really fucking hard, dude. You have to like legitimately own a radio to get that signal, which, though, by the way, I just signed up for a 3 months free of XM radio, which I don't know if Timmy's going to be fucking happy to hear about that. It's like, here I am, listen to Timmy on FM radio, but hey, I just signed up for 3 months free for XM. Dude, all for the bonfire, dude. Dan Soder, Big J Okerson, dude. I'm a huge fan, dude. So, 3 months free, dude. I like taking advantage of that shit. Typically, I always cancel that shit beforehand, but you using the XM, dude, it's I don't even remember what the fuck I was gonna even say about it. What kind of point was I even trying to fucking make on it? I don't even know. That's legitimately a brain fart, guys. That's legitimately one I'm gonna have to fucking suck up and be like, I don't remember that. I don't remember. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. These are like long ass intros, dude. I'm feeling good though. Like I said, man, I don't care. I don't care. I think it's good to sit down and record a 30-minute intro and just bullshit, dude. So, but yeah, you can find Timmy on 94.5 Cats every single Monday through Friday. So again, there's that Monday through Friday gig, Timmy. I love it. I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, I give you Timmy.
All aboard!
So when I first started recording, I was trying to drop us off back to where we were talking about how blood pressure fun.
Oh yeah.
Going to the doctor, but then I was like, oh, it's all about heartburn. Tim Humor, welcome back to the podcast, sir.
Well, when you get heartburn a lot, first off, look at how much you're drinking, alcohol-wise. Then look at how much sugar you take, because sugar will help bottle that up. And then, yeah, it's a medical talk with Timmy. And then if you're finding you're getting a lot more heartburn, definitely acid reflux when you go to sleep at night, that's definitely a mixture of the sugar that you're eating. I'm a fat guy, so I know all about the sugar intake. But yeah, with the blood pressure, I was really worried because I inherited my mom's migraines, and my brother got the high blood pressure. My dad has it, and I had it. And with me being a bigger guy, like, I'm just waiting for me to have high blood pressure. And it's one of those things where I don't go to the doctor because I know he'll find something wrong. And it's just like, I'm not healthy enough to go to the doctor. Right, I can't do this. And the last time I did go to the doctor, it was quite amazing. I had screwed up my back, and so that was the reason I was in there. Right. But, of course, the nurse, a very lovely lady, she took my blood pressure, and I had told her, hey, it might be on the high side. My last doctor said it was high, but he wasn't too concerned about it. I'm not on any medicine. 39 years old, and I'm still not on any type of medicine.
That's
Go me.
Up, dude, that's what's up, Timmy.
Anyway, she took my blood pressure and looked at it. Took it again. Was still shocked. Went ahead and pulled the cuff off my arm. Got a different one, put it on there. And I was like, is everything wrong? And is everything okay? And she was like, oh, well, one of these cuffs is broken, so I'm just checking. And so she put the other one on there and did that. Looked at everything. Okay. And I'm thinking, what's wrong? How bad is it? She's like, it's great.
That's awesome.
And I'm just like, you bitch. A fat guy can't have good high blood pressure.
Well, shit, I mean, just I don't know, for me, dude, when I'm sitting in that doctor's office, man, and, like, you're sitting there in the chair and she's, taking your blood pressure, like, I'm just like, fuck, like, I'm gonna have cancer, I'm gonna have fucking AIDS,
yeah.
I'm gonna have fucking, like, they're gonna find all these things wrong with me and whatnot, and it's just like, then her to, like, stall it out, just give me a fucking heart attack, dude.
Well, and it was even one of those things, too, where you go in there for a simple cough, next thing you know, your pants around your ankles, and your doctor's telling you you're a good boy.
That's happened to me, too.
We're at that age, man. When you yell out another doctor's name, they get pissed. Heaven forbid you ask for a glove with ridges,
That straight up happened to me. I was
The doctor had a ribbed glove?
Yeah, totally. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it hardcore. No, but like I went to I had this issue where like I was having issues like going to the bath, taking a piss, and like it was like streaming, coming out of a very like low stream. So like
kidney stone.
No, I had this thing called a stricture, dude. Like right at the beginning. So it was like somehow over the years I damaged the tip of my penis. Apparently, somehow I have no idea.
Safety tip from Timmy and Kevin:
stricture.
Whatever you hump, make sure there's an opening.
Honestly, I thought maybe it was from skateboarding or something. I don't know, dude, because like I've racked my nuts like doing kickflips and shit.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Where it lands and you fucking just crotch yourself, dude. Like
I was thinking,
I don't know.
You might be well hung, but you're not that well hung. You jump on the skateboard and end up crushing your tip.
I don't know, dude. But like that happened. So like this was about a little bit over a year ago. And like so like I had like 2 days of like where it was kind of an issue. And then I went to the doctor. I went to one of these little medi centers. And the doctor's like, I'm telling him what's up. I have to pee in a cup. They have to check for like, infection or whatever.
Yeah, and culture and all that.
Yeah, and all that good stuff. And so then the guy calls me back as I'm driving home. He's like, oh, well, there's nothing really I can do. I'm like, fuck, I don't know. So I'm probably going to have to go to the fucking hospital at this point, it feels like. And then he calls me back. He's like, hey, come back. I just want to check you, just make sure you don't have like, because like, you can have like prostate cancer. That could be like, and that could be a sign when you're having issues peeing like that, like a slow dribble. So, like, he's like, yeah, I just want to make sure you don't have prostate cancer. So I'm like, all right. And so I go back, and I straight up had to, like, bite the fucking, bite the seat there and let him fucking check. But good news is, my prostate's healthy, dude.
Well,
so
good.
He's like, you don't have to do that for another, like, 5 years. And I'm like, well, let's hope so.
Here's a referral to urology where they can look at the front of you.
No, yeah, I ended up.
So did he look? Is it like misshapen or?
No, I had to go into the hospital that morning at like 5:00 in the fucking morning. If you go back in the archives, I actually talk about it on the podcast. But
that's cool.
But no, I'll tell you, dude. Since like I haven't told you before. But like, so yeah, then like they're like, yeah, dude, it was pretty fucking embarrassing to tell you the truth because they're like they tried sticking a catheter in
and they couldn't.
They couldn't. So they had to do like an emergency like stricture opening where they go in there basically. And they fucking take this, like, metal thing and they just fucking open it all up, dude.
As every guy listening right now is cringing.
Cringing like a bitch, dude. But they give you Propofol, the same shit. Because, like, they came in with it. They're like, yeah, this is the same shit they gave to Michael Jackson. I'm like, cool. Man. And the whole time, dude, like, they take my blood pressure. My blood pressure is, like, sky high. So I'm, like, freaked out. And yeah, so I come back, dude. I had to have a catheter in for like 2 days.
Wow.
And then like I have basically like normally what they would have to do, they'd have to go in there and do a surgery, like a neoplasty, where they take a piece of your mouth out and like fucking reconstruct it and shit.
Really?
But like mine's not low enough to where like they have to do that. So it's like you gotta like just dilate it like once like every couple weeks or something. It's weird. I don't know how the hell I did it, dude. But
Cock Talk with Kevin Porter.
Exactly, it happens. Life happens like that. So.
God, since we're talking about weird shit with our bodies, The weirdest thing I've had to me, and this happened when I was like 22, 23.
Yeah.
I had what was called an umbilical infection.
What?
Yeah. The one orifice on your body you should not leak from, I was leaking from it. The belly button felt like I was getting stabbed, and it was bleeding. And so I went to the hospital at like 2 a.m. in the morning, just doubled over in pain. God, it hurt. And of course, when you get to the hospital, they can't find out what's wrong with you. So I made sure not to clean my stomach at all.
Oh, geez.
Because it was literally just oozing blood out of my belly button.
Whoa.
And anyway, so I went in, I had a piece of gauze over it and tape so it wouldn't wreck my clothing. And the doctor came in and kind of told him what's up and laid down on the table. And he removed the bandage. He's like, whoa, that ain't right. I couldn't help it. 7 years of medical school, doc. Okay. And so he kind of cleaned it up. He looked at it, and they told me to go get, not an MRI. Maybe it was an MRI. The giant donut that they put you into.
Oh, yeah, it's like an MRI. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
anyway,
so
they went me there, and a really, really, really beautiful nurse came in, and she's like, okay, I'll take you down there. And she had a wheelchair. And I was like, what's that for? She's like, oh, I'll push you down there. I can walk. Well, we can push you. It's fine. Like, does it cost extra? Well, no. All right, push away. So she's leading me to the MRI machine, and the hallway gets jammed by another patient in a medical bed. They're trying to turn the person around. It's just causing a huge obstruction.
Let's get your honk out. You're like, honk,
Exactly.
get the fuck out of the way.
And so she looks at me, and I was like, I can walk around him. It's fine. She's like, all right. So we ditched the wheelchair, and we walked the rest of the way.
Like,
So
I'll save you 10 minutes.
Exactly. And so we get down there, and I'm laying down, and then they had me drink a gigantic big gulp of some stuff that's going to go through my body and help lighten everything up for the machine. And
Become
so
black light, like
pretty much. Yeah, man. I looked like some type of Tron on acid. So they gave me the giant big gulp, and she's like, here, you need to drink this within 5 minutes. And I power chugged the fucker. She turned her back, and it was already gone by the time she came back. And she's like, you had 5 minutes. I'm like, who wants to savor this? It's horrible.
Yeah, right? Like, let's just get this done and over with.
So then they start to inject the dye into my vein, and they warn me. They're like, okay, you're going to feel extremely warm. Then you're going to feel extremely drunk. Then you're going to feel the overwhelming urge to go to the bathroom. Do not go to the bathroom.
Whoa.
Sure as shit, man. Just like clockwork. Felt warm, started sweating, felt extremely happy and giddy. Next thing you know, I have to go to the bathroom. I did not, though. I was a big boy. And so they ran the machine, ran everything over there. They came back, and like half hour or so later, I'm in the exam room. Doctor comes back in, and he says, well, it looks like you have an umbilical infection. And I look down at my belly button, and I'm like, I thought you cut that off.
Yeah, right? Like, what the fuck is this shit?
And he's like, oh, no, part of it's still there. So I look down again, and I say, I thought that was my penis. To which the doctor couldn't help but laughing. And he's like, you're fine, take this cream. And what happened is, apparently, when they cut the umbilical cord off as a baby, the part that's still attached to you kind of gets turned inside out, and goes back into your body. Mm-hmm. Well, for me, that area never officially closed.
Oh, whoa.
And so, like, a little piece of dirt got in there, or I got an ingrown hair on my stomach, and that infection kind of spread to it. And that was the only way for the body to get rid of the infection was through the belly button. And so that's why I started bleeding from the only orifice you should never bleed from. And it hurt like hell. And I'm sure a couple nurses will still remember me for not pooping the bed. So that's kind of how that medical miracle worked.
Well, at least you didn't poop the bed.
That's
Timmy.
that's everybody's hope inside of a hospital, especially when you're in your mid-20s for that.
Yeah, when I got done with that whole surgery, like I said, I had a catheter, dude, and like having to walk around with a catheter was so uncomfortable, dude. So like literally, like I was just like, I need pain pills. Like the lady's just like, you need pain pills, like it hurts. And then like she the only time I ever got rolled out in a wheelchair at the hospital, dude, was that time. They're like, do you want to walk or do you want a wheelchair? I was like, give me a fucking wheelchair.
I'm just having visions from the second Dumb and Dumber movie where
you're carrying around a bag.
You're carrying around a bag, and Lloyd Christmas and Harry Harry Dunn just yank it out of you to pull it out.
Oh, dude. Well, dude, that's like...
So did they numb the whole damn thing? So you couldn't even get erect or anything like that? Or
well, when you get the catheter in?
Yeah.
You just fucking... Your dick just, expands out, dude, and you just pee out the fucking thing.
Wow.
You can't get... you're not getting erect or anything like that,
Okay.
dude. And then it was kind of funny because, they're trying to tell me, they're like, all right, well, when you remove the catheter, this is how you do it. I'm like, I'm not going to remember that.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna fucking pull out my own fucking catheter. Go fuck yourself, lady. And so I had to go to the urologist 2 days later to meet with my doctor. Mm-hmm. And I show up there with the fucking bag, and the lady's all surprised. She's like, "You still got your catheter in?" I'm like, "I didn't know I could do it." And she just fucking grabs it, and just fucking woof.
Oh, you know what you should have said? Oh, she's like, "You still have your catheter in?" You could have said, first off, well, I can pee while I'm driving with this bad boy. I've saved 2 minutes on my drive time to work.
My employer loves me now.
Or you could have said there was no YouTube tutorials on it.
Oh God, dude, that's the one thing you will find on YouTube. You will find medical shit, dude. You want to look at abscesses being cut off a dick or something, dude. You'll find it on YouTube, dude.
Oh, I learned how to roof my house. I fixed a sink. I ripped a wire out of my nuts.
You find it though, dude. You look up abscesses and shit. You see that shit popped up all the time, dude.
I remember after the Batman character Harley Quinn became popular, my buddy Eugene, who's a pharmacist, flat out told me, he's like, "Dude, Google Harley Quinn sometime. It's so sad. It's all a bunch of deformed babies and newborn. Yeah, there's a type of disease that the slang term is called Harley Quinn.
No way.
And it's if you want brain nightmares, that's something to Google.
We'll tell Brandon Allen now. I'll be like, hey, you gotta listen to the Timmy episode. Timmy talks about a pretty cool little baby picture you want to see.
And the next thing you know, he's bird boxing himself because he doesn't want to see it anymore.
I don't think I ever saw Bird Box, dude.
The only reason I bring it up, they never showed what the monster, alien, whatever it was, looked like, because I've never seen it either. But I've read a lot about it.
That's lame.
They never show it, but leaked pictures did come out about what they suspected the creature to look like.
Yeah,
and it really looked like. You ever see the movie Benjamin Button?
Oh yeah.
Okay, beginning of the movie when he's an old baby.
That's what's up.
That's creepy as hell.
That's Bird Box.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I haven't. Yeah, dude.
Sandra Bullock's hot though. So
I canceled my Netflix subscription. The only time I ever subscribe to Netflix is if something really cool comes out, like a stand-up comedy, which, dude, right now with COVID, I mean, those aren't coming out. And then the Michael Jordan documentary. That's the only things I ever subscribe to it for.
This year though, they got quite a few movies lined up. Ryan Reynolds and The Rock. They got some bigger talent coming for for some different movies. Next big thing I'm waiting for on Netflix will be The Witcher 2.
Yeah, dude, my wife was into that. Yeah, she was into that.
Well, of course, it's Henry Cavill shirtless. I'm into that. Who isn't?
Who isn't?
He's America's sweetheart with muscles. Not saying Keanu Reeves doesn't have muscles, but compared to Superman.
Yeah, I think Henry, was it Cavill? How do you pronounce that?
I say Canville, but
Canville. Okay, we'll roll with that, dude.
Yeah.
I
would love for him to come and correct me, please.
Yeah, I'd like to see that happen. Just rolls up one day to the radio station. He's like, "What's up? Where's Timmy at? I heard you talking shit on the radio, bro. What's up?"
No, it was a podcast. FCC has no jurisdiction. I don't owe you an apology, but because you're Henry Canville, or how do you pronounce it? Oh, okay. I apologize.
Yeah,
I love you as Superman. Don't ever change.
Is he even going to be Superman going forward or
From what I've read, since I'm the comic book nerd, a lot of it really depends on this Zack Snyder Justice League recut.
Okay.
That's dropping on HBO Max next month or in March.
I was just gonna say, dude, the last time you were on this podcast, we talked about that. They just announced how they were gonna do the Zack Snyder cut.
And it was that whole thing. It was started off as a grassroots movement to release the Snyder cut because Zack Snyder stopped doing it because his daughter committed suicide. And by this, all the fans continuing the hashtag of release the Snyder cut, it actually turned out to be a great fundraiser to bring self-awareness to just suicide. And WB, Warner Brothers in DC, finally greenlit it. And so he went in, and all the footage he ever filmed he was able to go back in and recut it, and anything that Joss Whedon touched, change it back to his original. Everything that will be airing in March on HBO Max will be none of what Whedon shot. It will be only Zack Snyder.
Whoa.
And it turned out he had about 4 hours worth of material that he had originally shot, and I think he only shot about 7 minutes of new stuff.
Really?
Yeah, but they even redesigned Jared Leto's Joker, and they just dropped that design of what Leto's Joker looks like. And
it's probably for the best, dude. I don't know. Meth head fucking Joker. I never watched the Suicide Squad, really. I got drunk one night, tried watching it. I got annoyed with the soundtrack, and I was like, fuck this, dude. I turned it off.
It's a popcorn flick. I enjoyed it, but you and I have so many stand-up comedy friends who've become so it's cool to hate. And I really wonder, do they even enjoy anything in life anymore? Because I never hear anything positive out of their mouths. And yes, was Suicide Squad a great movie? No. Did it have lots of explosions and Margot Robbie wearing a tight underoos? Yeah. So I bought it on Blu-ray, so I definitely enjoyed it. Now, Leto's Joker, there were some good things and there was a hell of a lot of bad things. The design of him was horrible. I do kind of like the idea of him having the grill metal teeth.
Yeah.
Because you figure if Batman's been punching the shit out of your face for so many years, how do you still have regular teeth? All the tattoos on his face, those, no. I always figured if Joker would have a tattoo, he'd have the prison teardrop because he killed a person. But because it's Joker, I could see like a whole little waterfall going down the side of his face.
Oh, right.
Just for the symbolism and his mockingness of the whole thing. But the picture that was just released of the Zack Snyder cut, this Joker actually looks more closer to Heath Ledger's. With kind of the more longer hair. It didn't look like he had scars.
Yeah, because he just like slicked back his hair.
His hair was slicked back, yeah. But more of the very, very pale, pasty skin. None of the face tattoos. Good. So yeah, I'm excited, and I don't think this Joker's going to have really barely any of a part besides Batman walking through the Arkham Asylum, and seeing him there in the little wing. But still, I'm stoked. That was the whole reason why I subscribed to HBO Max back in December.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just so I can make sure I have it. And then the whole WB deal where all the movies are releasing on HBO Max the same day. By the way, HBO Max isn't paying me a damn thing to promote their product so much.
Well, they should.
They should
pay you, Timmy.
They should. I haven't even bought stock in AT&T yet.
That's crazy. AT&T owns all that shit, dude.
Their stock isn't all that expensive either. It's only like $28 a share.
That's not bad.
Yeah, compared to like Disney, that's like almost $200 a share.
It's $200 fucking bucks a share for Disney. See, I don't really pay a lot of attention to it. Like, outside of this whole Robinhood shit, like, I don't really pay that much attention to stocks.
And with the Robinhood, are you just now paying attention because of the whole GameStop debunk?
Yeah, I just heard, I mean, obviously, just hearing about it and stuff, and which, clap on, guys.
Yeah. I'm excited. I kind of pissed I didn't get in on the ground level of GameStop, but man, I read about a little kid who was given like 15 shares for his birthday when they were like $2 a piece. And and that was God knows how many years ago. But just, family member, you love video games? I'm going to get you GameStop stock. And the kid just sold it like 2 weeks ago, made $30,000.
Whoa.
Kudos to him.
Whoa,
he'll finally get a girlfriend. Kudos to him.
He can get out of mom's basement right now, dude. I mean, it's a wonderful world out there. I mean, it's a blue skies and $30,000 later, dude.
Brand new 18 speed. Good for him.
I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and they were talking about Bitcoin, and like I've been aware of Bitcoin, I don't know, probably like 10 years, And so like when it was first started like rolling out, like $5 a share or whatever, like $10 a share or whatever. Like, it was really
close
cheap.
to 30 years ago.
For Bitcoin?
Well, maybe about 20 years ago.
I thought Bitcoin was. Has it been around that long?
It's been around that long because there's some computer programs way back in the day where, at least because I was still living with my dad when I first noticed it, and so that's at least 20 years ago.
Well, I remember like when I started paying attention to it, it was really cheap. Like it wasn't that expensive to get in on it.
Oh yeah.
And like I kind of like looked into it, and I actually like talked to my wife about it. I was like, let's throw some money into it, but we ended up not doing it. And then I heard on the radio last night, or the podcast last night, they're like, if you would have like put in like like 5 or 10, like gotten a handful of shares or whatever, like you'd have like $50,000 right now.
Oh, easy.
It's just like, what the fuck?
As of this morning when I checked, it was like at 40. And my buddy actually owns 1 Bitcoin, and he bought it when it was $7,000.
Oh, wow.
And that was about 10 years ago.
Okay.
So the fact that it was $7,000 10 years ago,
Was
and
it
it's now
$7,000?
$40,000.
All right.
So it's definitely one of those things where I've looked more and more into cryptocurrency, and
Yeah.
part of me scares the holy hell out of it, but then again, I'm wasting the money on Batman comic books. So what's more likely to go up in value nowadays?
The problem I have with that statement is that you're wasting money on Batman comics, dude. There's no
Sorry.
wasting money on Batman comics.
I channeled my wife. All right. Actually,
Sounds like my wife too. Jeez.
full disclosure, my wife's pretty awesome, especially with the pandemic going on.
Yeah.
The comic books have literally, well, I don't want to say literally, but they've definitely saved my mental state as far as depression and all that other stuff. Pro or con with all the negativity on Facebook and political divide and crap. It was getting so overwhelming for me that I was just like, you know what? I wish I could punch my problems. And in the comic books, you can.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And so my wife has her hobbies with her craft stuff and glitter.
Yeah.
And I drop my comic book stuff, so it's helped me survive definitely.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah, man. Like, I really did try this year to, like, well, not this year, I guess it was with last year, dude. Like, really tried to, like, button down, like, on reading in general. I didn't really get down a lot. I got back into comics, because, like, I go through waves with comic books, dude. Like, I'll read, like, 5-6 comics in a row, and then, like, I won't touch it for, like, a year or something like that, or 6 months or whatever it is, dude. And this year, definitely this year though, like I had like a handful. I had some RoboCop comics. I know I've talked about it on this podcast, but like, I was reading some RoboCop comics.
Like recent ones or from the 80s
From
Marvel?
the 80s, dude.
Okay,
like,
Marvel comic group. Okay.
Yeah, that little antique shop outside, like going outside Sela to Ellensburg, like they had like a bunch of old comics in there, so I just picked up a handful. But
from Sela, there's an antique shop out there?
Yeah, dude, well, like that, it's like that little fruit stand. And there's an antique shop in it.
Really?
Yeah, I never knew it, dude, until like we came back and like I think it was like in September this last year we were coming back. My wife wanted to stop in there, and I was like, yeah, whatever, dude. We had nothing else to do, and yeah, dude. Turns out they had what did I pick up? I picked up like I don't know, like 5 or 6 DVDs there, dude. And like comics and stuff. I think I got like a Seahawks cup that ended up getting broken like 2 months later because my kids don't know how to fucking handle glass. It's a cool place.
Up in Wenatchee, there's a huge, gigantic antique mall called Apple Annie's, and you can find some pretty awesome and some classic. And got somebody was just selling random comics, and I've gotten to the graphic novels and the thicker comics.
The thicker comics.
Well, you have to say that because when my in-laws tried to buy me a graphic novel, they were literally thinking it was going to be graphic porn.
Right.
And
well, it's because there's a graphic and it's turned into a novel. I mean,
exactly.
It's kind of a dirty play on words in a sense.
It is, but then again, I love my in-laws. Oh, there's that story I want to tell you about my in-laws.
Okay, yeah.
Sidetrack from the comic book porn. My mother-in-law, and I'm 99.9% sure she'll never hear this, so I'm going to go ahead and tell this joke. When my wife and I started dating, obviously before we were married, I developed a cold sore. Okay, yes, I know that's a strain of the herpes virus, but I don't have herpes, but I'll get a cold sore every once in a while.
Yeah,
same thing as chicken pox and all that fun stuff. Anyway, went over to eat dinner and then went home. No big issue. Wife and I went to bed. Actually, I guess we were already engaged because we were living with each other at that time frame. So the next morning, my wife gets a text message from her mom at 6 a.m. in the morning warning my wife about the dangers of oral sex when a cold sore is involved. And I laughed so hard. And my wife's like, why? Why are you laughing at it? She's serious. I go, because this is the first thought she had in the morning. That means our oral sex life, she lost sleep over. That's fucking hilarious to me.
She's so concerned that her daughter's going to get herpes.
And you know what? That's a sign of a great parent. The bad part about that is I've had that joke in my pocket, in that little story in my pocket, and for all the times I was on stage, either at Bill's Place or 4th Street Theater or Pan Am Hollandzilla. I could not use that story or joke. So thank you, Kevin, for letting me finally get that one off of my back. So
that's what this platform is for, dude. No one listens, so you can say whatever you want, dude.
It's like I found Jesus. That weight's just gone.
Woo!
Wow, amen.
Yeah, I know, dude. Like you bringing up that story, dude, I like totally spaced it. But yeah, no, we had a fun little. I haven't talked about it on this podcast, but we had a fun little incident with my mother-in-law.
Well, do share.
Well, yeah, no, I'll share it. Sure. Dude, she's so like, oh my god, dude. Like, just like she's so like. Every time, I'll just put it this way, dude. Every time she spells my name out on a comment, she spells my name Keven. And it clearly says on Facebook the correct spelling of my name. And I've corrected her on it. I've been like, hey, it's spelled with an I. Okay. And she just never fucking learns from it.
Was it that same lady that made the, wow, Timmy's big?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, dude, I don't think she meant it, like, malicious or anything
No,
like that.
and I didn't take it as that either.
Like, she has no, like, awareness in terms
no filter,
of, like,
no tact.
Filter, exactly, dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And
I publicly apologize to you, Timmy, for
Dude,
my stupid stepmom.
There's
mother-in-law.
There's no need to apologize. And I love it. And I think it was, it was either Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias, or Louis Anderson, or one of the John Pineda, maybe. Actually, I think it was John Pineda, rest his soul. Thought out was just like, people call me fat. Duh, I know. If you're trying to scare me or insult me, tell me something that's not true, like McDonald's is closing, I'll be pissed and whatnot. And I know my size. I mean, hell, I bring over my own chair for certain instances because I don't want to break something. My ass knows no limits.
Right.
And yeah, I need to lose weight. It's very unhealthy. I'm not unaware of that. But I will say, it's hard.
Yeah.
Especially when everywhere around you is 99-cent burgers and tacos.
So hard.
And then, hey, I'm going to eat healthy. Oh, that's $5.99 for a salad that tastes like shit.
What do you mean I gotta cook at home? What do you mean I gotta go to the store like a peasant and buy the lettuce, the croutons?
If you think about it in a different way, when you go to the store, it's all set up and displayed like you're an emperor. Ooh, what goods do you have? I'll take this finest of Caesar salad dressing.
Caesar.
Oh, God.
God, dude, I had like a panic attack yesterday at like Fred Meyer's, dude. I fucking hate going to the store, dude. I never, like, I have such anxiety about
From
like,
so many people or what?
well, it's like I can handle myself like fine, but like I just like when like lots of people are just like cruising around me, I'm just like I start like,
Anxiety?
a little bit of anxiety.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. So like I went in there yesterday looking for fucking the French dip like sauce or whatever.
Yeah, jus sauce. Yeah.
Au jus sauce. I couldn't fucking find it, dude. It wasn't in the condiment section. And then like I ended up finding it, but like it took forever, and I was just like so like. Oh, like if you take my blood pressure then, dude, it would have been,
You should have checked the boxed dinner section. It's right there with all those packets.
I ended up finding it.
If you are ever really, because I actually was dealing with that, and I've never really had anxiety. I used to have super bad when I was really little, just trying to learn how to tie my shoes was causing me to hyperventilate. And my mom's like, hey, nothing is important that you need to do that. Just breathe and just forget about everything, just focus on your thing. So my mom really helped me out with that. But about 3 to 4 months ago, sounds were getting to me. Like we were at Taco Bell, and the gigantic speaker was so freaking loud, and the lady screaming on it, I'm sure she was a nice lady, but the speaker was so loud. Between that, all the other traffic, everything else, it was just like audio overwhelming, and I literally vapor locked, and I couldn't do anything. My wife had to kind of snap me out of it, and it was very scary and traumatic, especially because I was behind the wheel of the car.
Oh, you were in a car?
Yeah.
You were driving?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
I don't usually walk through the drive-through window, but
yeah. Sorry, no, like the part where you're like, I was sitting in the drive-through, I didn't hear that, and like all I heard was like you're like inside the store, standing there, and the lady over the loudspeaker was calling the name.
But yeah, it was bad to the point where as soon as I pulled forward, I hopped out and made my wife drive home because I didn't want to risk that. Yeah. And so now when I know there's going to be some type of situation like that, and this might help you to grocery shop. Put just wads of cotton in your ears, earplugs.
That's not a bad idea.
And see if that helps you. I mean, they want us to mask our mouth and our nose. Why not plug our ears as well? Be done with it.
Right, exactly. Like, I think it's like a lot of it's just like, I don't know, like I always get it. Like, like you always hear that about the person that does like, some sort of entertainment, like whether it be like stand-up plays or whatever. It's like they have a hard time just being around people. And like, I don't have a hard time like sitting here talking to somebody or even being groups of people talking to somebody, but like, I don't know, for some reason the grocery store is always like, it's just like, and Fred Meyer's just has such narrow fucking aisles, dude. And when you cram like a shit ton of people in there, dude, it's just intimidating. Like all these fucking people around you and shit.
Dear God, never go to Safeway when you want to worry about the aisles.
Safeway's just as bad. No, I know, dude.
Safeway's worse as far as aisle size. When it comes to the comics, I think so many of them are more, what's the one, introvert? Yeah, introvert, where they want to stay close, and that's just because they're, by nature, from what I've experienced, they're more people watchers, and that's how they get their ideas. Even Johnny Carson, the late Johnny Carson, he was amazing on stage in front of a crowd, but put him in a small group of people, and he clammed up big time. And that was just how he was. I'm noticing I'm getting to the point like that where if I'm talking to more than 3 or 4 people and it's not people that I consider within my circle, like you and my wife and certain family members, I'm just like, okay, I'll say what I need to say, and I take my bow. And actually read a book about the introvert's guidebook to success or something like that. Oh, wow. And it talked about knowing, all right, just bow out gracefully. Hey, thank you so much for your time. I'm taking off now. And people won't be mad at you for politely exiting. And half the time they're wanting to get the hell away from you as well. Go home, back to their safety where we've been cooped up for the past year.
I can feel that anxiety right there, right? Like you're worried and you're like waiting to excuse yourself. You're waiting for that moment. You're like, okay, well, okay, and then you like cut somebody off. You're like, oh yeah, sorry, I'm leaving.
Just do the Peter Griffin thing. Just poop yourself. Oh,
fuck, dude, just fucking shit yourself. That's one way to do it, dude. I mean, like, whoa, I gotta get out of here.
I need to be changed. Why do you fuckers stink?
One of you guys came here to shit your pants in my living room, dude. That's great, dude. I mean, it happens, dude. It happens.
I hope it doesn't. Not very often.
I don't know. You always hear those horror stories. People shitting their pants. Like, I don't know. I probably had more instances of like almost shitting my pants like this last year than probably like my whole entire life, dude. Mm-hmm. It was just like that sporadic like little squirt of diarrhea. It's like, it's nothing, but
God, we're getting old, man.
It happens, dude.
Next thing you know, one day we're playing Nintendo. The next day we're depends and all that fun stuff.
Still playing Nintendo though. I'm never giving that up. Never giving that up, Timmy.
It was great. I was talking to, we mentioned a couple times, Brandon.
Yeah.
And this was a while ago, but we were just talking about ages, and he asked me how old I was, and I told him I'm 39. I just turned 39 in October.
Yeah. That's what's up.
And he was just like, no way. I'm like, yeah, how old did you think I was? And he was like, 30 or 31. I'm like,
I thought he was our age.
I was like, dude, that's so nice. Thank you so much. And then I realized, yeah, when you're this chubby, whether it's age lines or stretch marks, people can't tell the difference. It's great. Okay.
It's like, I'm going to go to my 50s, dude. People will be like, you're 35, right?
Well, how old are you? You're 35.
I just turned 35.
Okay, yeah.
I just turned 35 like 2 months ago.
God, and you're already shitting yourself and having issues with the wiener?
Dude. Well, it's like, fuck, man, once I hit 30, dude, that's like, I think, like, you talk about anxiety, a lot of my anxiety, like, really kicked in when I was, like, 30, dude.
Well, isn't that when you had your kids, or...
I had my first kid when I was, like, 20, dude.
Okay, so anxiety should have been long gone by then.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, once I quit smoking cigarettes, and, like, I think, like, that's really kind of, like, when I noticed, like, blood pressure issues. Like, I'd go there and be, like, really high. I'd be like, oh, I wonder if, like, quitting smoking, I wonder if, like, smoking cigarettes kept it at bay for so long.
That's amazing. Your sense of taste and smell came back, and now you have a new superpower, and you're just now paranoid of the world.
Dude, it kind of feels like it, dude. I mean, I'm not that bad. I mean, dude, like, don't get me wrong. I talk about anxiety on here and shit, but, like, and I deal with it a lot, but, like, a lot of it's like, oh, you think, like, you have, like, a disease. Which, dude, I had that shit when I was a kid, though, dude. Like, I remember, like, and I think I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, but, like, I remember, like, I can really honestly, like, identify exactly when I fucking
like got anxiety over health, dude. It's like there was some magazine for like HIV awareness, like at some park that we were at, and like I was reading it, and it was like talking about night sweats and stuff. It's like that could be a sign of having HIV, and like in my head, I'm like, I get night sweats sometimes. No idea how you contract HIV or anything, but like I remember one time, like we picked up a needle at my mom's like friend's house. Like I remember not touching the tip, but I remember that like being in my head for weeks. Be like, oh, Joe. Yeah, you have AIDS, and it's like it started when I was like 7 or something, dude. It's ridiculous.
And for anybody to discount somebody else for whatever thoughts they may have about what's wrong with them, that's not right. That's not your place to discredit them. Like I was mentioning with the comic books and just the depression that it's been kind of I won't say a roller coaster, but maybe a kiddie ride up and down. When I told people, it's like, oh no, I'm depressed right now. Yeah. And I had one guy thought, I was like, no, you're not. You're talking about it. Hey, I'm sorry. Yeah. Fuck you. I know my head. If I don't talk about it, I'm going to go to a very dark place. Yeah. And that's the last thing I or anybody wants me to do. Oh, I hear that. Because I am very loved. I'm very blessed with all the friends and family and opportunities like this one. I don't want to give that up. But for some stupid reason, whether it's social media algorithms bombarding me nonstop with a stupid 24-hour news cycle that should only be an hour at most.
30 minutes.
or fluoride in the water, or...
That's why we got bottled water here.
Yes, exactly. We get our fluoride from Kirkland. Thank you, Costco. Or fucking Costco COVID samples in 12 packs on aisle 4. I don't know. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can definitely feel it, man. I think, like, everybody, like, really, like, this year was, like, and like you said, dude, like, people discounting like that, dude, like, that's real bullshit, dude. Like, you should never, like, discount somebody's telling you that they need help, dude. I think, I think that's such, like, a progression of, like, especially when we were kids, you know, because, like, I think we were kind of at that tail end of, like, you know, kind of, like, suck it up, buttercup, you know, like, that type of, like, you could tell it was, like, changing, but, like, I don't know, like, I don't know. As I grew up as a teenager, like it feels like I've always been able to like communicate my emotions with people that I surround myself with. But yeah, I think dude, you have to. I mean, you have to be able to. But you know.
Now I have a weird stance when it comes to bullies because, in a form or fashion, they are needed to help develop backbones. And
Trevor Moore says it best, dude. You ever see that?
I have not.
Oh, dude. Okay, Trevor Moore, he's released like 3 albums or whatever. It's like kind of like weird. Wouldn't say it's weird album. It's like joke, you know.
Okay, so is he stand up or is he more musician?
Well, he was off Whitest Kids You Know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like the tall, lanky guy or whatever. Okay. And but yeah, he has this song about bullies, dude. About basically, like. You know, he's talking about, you know, all the, you know, the things that are happening in today's day and age with, like, you know, people coming out gay and, like, trans and all that stuff. But he's like, you know, we need to bring bullies back, though, because of the assholes that are like, you know, I'm a fucking werewolf or whatever, you know, just identify it as whatever. I don't know. It's a fun song or, you know, whatever. But, like, yeah, bullies do play a place within society, though.
And... I mean, I know just being the fat kid growing up, I got bullied, but also helped me learn how to deal with it and how to fight back in my own way. But granted, you're the parent, I'm not, so please, anybody who is a parent, don't listen to my advice, because God knows I have a little dog. But it just seems to me that not everybody needs the trophy. Not everybody needs to be told it's going to be okay. You are going to have rough patches in life. That's life. And I don't know, the bully helped teach me that. So
I got bullied, dude, a lot when I was a kid, dude. Like I had long hair. I remember because like Shawn Michaels was my favorite wrestler, so I grew my hair long. I was like this short, skinny kid.
You wore heart shaped pants on your butt, yeah.
Dude, fuck yeah, dance around like a sexy boy, bro. You know,
he is a sexy boy.
I was the sexy boy at McKinley Elementary, motherfucker. And
that's on the yearbook.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, creepy janitor.
Yeah. He signed it and everything. But yeah, no, I got picked on a lot, dude. So it's like I didn't like really get in a lot of fights or anything, but like there was a lot of verbal altercations and like there was a lot of fucking bullying and like having to deal with it. And my kids today, like I don't trophy the fuck out of them. You know, you deal with what you deal with. You know, it is what it is.
I think it's funny they kind of renamed the bullying, and I was just thinking about this. It's called the boss.
The boss?
The boss.
What's that? What do you mean?
Well, just our work bosses and stuff. They can be in form of bullied.
Yeah.
And granted, there's reasons for why they need certain things done, but on the flip side, when they're like, well, shape up and fly right, otherwise you're gonna lose your job. And it's like, well, that's my livelihood. And,
Shit, how often do people tell you that, Timmy?
I've actually been dealing with some BS like that at one of my jobs, not the radio job, the other job.
The other one.
And yeah, it's kind of like, really? So I'm in trouble, probably going to get written up because of me trying to think outside the box. And since it wasn't XYZ by these orders,
Right.
even though it still served all the purposes, I might be in trouble. If that's the case, okay, I will be your good little drone. I'll be your good little soldier, and heaven help if I need to think on my own at 3 a.m. because it ain't happening. You're getting a phone call. So, needless to say, I have not had my talk with the boss yet, so that's why I'm not having more in detailed conversation about that on a podcast.
Of course. And luckily enough, it's the podcast no one listens to, so
Good.
he won't be listening. But no, I hate that. I hate getting that, like, having to, like, wait for that type of build up when you have that conversation with your boss and shit, dude. Because, like, I'll have those every once in a while. They'll, like, they have these stupid little things called training ops, where people are going to be Nazis and, like, oh, you did this wrong, so we filled it out. And, like, like, I get it. You're trying to make yourself better and stuff. And, like, if it's a legit mistake, it's a legit mistake, and you should be called out for it. I don't have a problem. But, like, sometimes it's, like, some of the tedious fucking shit. Like, I have this reviewer or whatever where they listen to your stuff and like go through it, and they're like, what the fuck was it, dude? I don't know. There was some like real technical, like small technical thing that like had to do with the actual thing where I was saving the information on, and so my whole thing was like, what did the customer get taken care of? Well, yeah, ultimately, yeah, nothing was impacted that way, but it's just this tiny little thing that caused me like a little dink on my thing, and it's just like, that's so minute, It's like, does this really matter? Like, why are we detailing and focusing on like the smallest fucking little things?
Yeah, and one thing that a lot of places don't look at, in my opinion, with just their employees and whatnot, it's all about the personality. I like to tease and joke and kid around. And a lot of the, especially the HR management videos, you can't say a joke about anything or anyone. And
that's sexual harassment, Timmy.
That's harassment for a disabled person. You know what? If I didn't like the person, I wouldn't talk to him, period.
Right.
And I've told a couple of my coworkers, I'm giving them a big old hug. I'm like, hey, you're awesome. I'm glad I work with you. I love you. You're, as a friend, you're great. And so if I ever do cross the line, please let me know. And I don't mean it in any way. And when I've had that talk to a couple people, just because I'm just like, you know what, they're having, not even that I said anything bad, but I'm watching their body language and they look like they're having a bad day. I'll come up and like, hey, are you okay? And I'll offer a hug. And 9 times out of 10, they've taken the hug. Yeah. And so I do that. I worked with one lady and I was in the break room. And she looked at me and she's like, hey, does so-and-so like me? And I looked at her, and this person had kind of been a problem coworker for a while. And I just couldn't help it. I go, no, they don't like you. Her face just dropped because that's not the answer they're expecting. And I turned it around.
You're just joking.
No, actually I wasn't. And the follow-up, because I know both people. But the follow-up was, because you in your head think that they don't like you, they will never like you.
Right. Because
you can't get it through your head that if he just waves at you instead of saying, hey, good morning, they won't like you because they're not, you have it set in your head that everybody's your enemy, so therefore everybody will always be your enemy.
Damn.
Yeah.
That type of person? Okay.
That type of person. And I will say, it actually got better working conditions with her after that smart-ass little comment I made. But, man, the look on her face, does this person like me? No. In fact, no one likes you.
Well, I mean, like...
because you don't like yourself. No, that I did not say that last part. But I did flat out, I was like, because you think no one likes you, no one will like you.
Right.
You cannot escape your own brain. And that's one of the horrifying things with depression that I found out in my life.
Yeah.
So.
Well, she should, like, just shake your hand for that, man. Because, like, going back to the whole, no trophies thing, dude. I think that's, like, a lost art in our society today is, like, being able to just provide, like, straight information to somebody, instead of sugarcoating it and just being like, hey, this is the way it is. Like, I had that happen to me just a couple weeks ago, dude. I was, like, going through, just sort of, like, just kind of feeling bad for myself, for real no reason, And then my wife's just like, hey, you know, shape the fuck up, Buttercup. Get the fuck going. Like, you know, and like, you don't do it to everybody, obviously, but, you know, but like, I mean, close friends and stuff, and like a coworker. I mean, like, I don't know, if you were to say that to me, though, and like, I was like really being an asshole, and like, you really kind of like pointed it out to me, I'd probably go up and shake your hand like a couple weeks down the road, dude. And once I like realize all that stuff and like realize, hey, man, maybe I am a piece of shit or something, dude.
And no,
like,
it's nothing about you being a piece of shit. It's just.
We can be honest, I'm a piece of shit, dude.
Well, and okay, you are. But that coworker, no, she wasn't. But I mean, and it could go back to her childhood. I don't know how she was raised. I don't know what her parents were like in her home situation. So it could just be nonstop type of mental abuse. And who knows how she had to grow up with. But she asked me that question, and I was feeling cocky that day and like a smart aleck. And so
God. There's so much more balls than I have, dude. Because like I just can't see myself like going into like a work situation. Like when I'm at work, dude. Like I'm fucking just into a corner, dude. I'm like, I'll do my work, but I get the fuck out of there, dude. I don't talk to anybody.
Well, me being blessed with having 2 jobs and in the pandemic, dear God, I am so lucky. I've been essential at every place, which that cracks the shit up out of me. Somebody asked me, it's like, oh, what is the main thing you learned in this pandemic? That radio DJs are essential. That's awesome. Holy shit. The corporations have been firing us left and right for the past 20 years. Now they have a perfect opportunity and they're not. Wow. Thank you. But for the other job, it is eye-opening about how blessed I really am. But I will say, like the incident with me having to have a talk as soon as I go back into work. Yeah, I might end up doing like you, and I kind of wonder, is that the smart thing to do? Just cornering myself, do my work, shut up, don't try to be everybody's pal, don't try to help everybody out. Right. Don't do as much as I can, just do the bare minimum and get out. If they want me to be a drone, I'm not saying you're a drone, you're a sexy drone.
I'm the sexiest boy drone.
I'm a real boy. Then that might be it, and that sucks because all that's going to do is that's going to hurt my self-esteem, and that's going to cost them a good, valuable employee one day.
Yeah, it makes you not really like your job when you kind of do that, you know, definitely when you're kind of like out of, I don't know, man, because I work from home now, you know, and and that's nice. I do.
I quit. Go to the bathroom.
Kind of like that, dude. I mean, that's the one thing, like, through this whole pandemic, dude. It's been nice just working from home, dude. But it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now. I just like...
Okay, answer me this, because I'm very fascinated with the people who are working from home, because my wife and I have both been essential. And so we actually had a lot of plans throughout 2020. The last big event I went to was Offspring in Spokane in 2019 with their acoustic tour. And I'm glad I got to see that, because obviously that might be the last concert any of us got to see for a very long time. But we were going to have my 20th high school reunion last year. I had 3 weddings that I was going to DJ. Yeah. We actually bought tickets to a comic book convention. I haven't been to a comic book convention since 1996.
Jeez.
Actually, no.
I've never been to one.
In 2003, for Penny Arcade Expo over in Seattle. So my wife and I had all these different plans for 2020, but with the pandemic, everything's been canceled. My wife, in a way, kind of likes it, but she hates it. And she was just telling me this last night, how she hates the fact that people are telling her that she can't go out. She has no problem not seeing people, not doing things, but she wants it to be her choice to not see people and not do things.
Of course.
But my wife and I have both gone to work every single day. In fact, I couldn't even take a sick day unless it was COVID related.
Wow.
We were so stressed. Oh, that day sucked when I needed to be sick. So I'm kind of curious, like, what is your daily routine? Do you still get up and get dressed like you are planning to go to work? Or do you just like, nope, I'm in my tidy whities or my underoos. Fuck it. I'm going commando today. I don't have a Zoom meeting. Why not?
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing is we haven't had a team meeting in like over a year. Almost over a year at this point, dude. So it's like we basically just been left to our... It's like if you know how to do the job, like no one like really fucks with you, dude. Nice. So like what I do, like instead of having like, okay, so like my day starts at 6:30 in the morning. Like I have to start work at 6:30 in the morning. So like instead of having to get up at 5:30 in the morning and leave my house by 6 to drive 30 minutes into town, I literally set my alarm clock now for 6:15. So I wake up, have 5 minutes to kind of lay there for a minute, and then get up at 6:20 and go in and start my computer. And then I start coffee, and I put my robe on, dude, because it's cold in my house, dude. So I just wear the robe, and then like on my lunch break, dude, like on my breaks, like I'll just do housework. Like I'll clean dishes, sweep really quick or whatever, or I'll just watch cartoons. Like today, I spent like, and then I'll like usually by my lunch, I'll usually go take a shower. I usually get dressed at like 9 or 10 in the morning or whatever. But like yeah, dude, I have like a little TV set up there, so I can sit there and like do my stuff, And I watch Transformers like all day.
Now, how are you able to do that with the kids? Because obviously they're schooling from home.
Well, my kids they go to private school, so they've been open since September.
Okay,
they've been open since September. So
all right,
they spent a month because they closed down for a brief like December basically. So they were home for that, and when they are home, because like obviously last year we had to do the homeschooling.
Yeah.
Because like I'm actually a little new to the whole just staying home, because like kind of like when they sent everybody home last April or whatever, like we were living here still, but we were about ready to fucking like take off to the woods there for like 6 months while we redid our house.
Yeah.
So I had like real no access to the internet just to like sit down and like do the job, except Jessica's they're essential, so like she's same thing, going to work every single day. So they had a spare office, dude, so I just went in like and just like hunkered down in that office basically and did my job. And eventually once we got our house done, I got internet here. I was like, yeah, fuck that, I'm bailing home, dude. So like it's nice, but at the same time, like I don't know, it's one of those things, because like you just kind of like doing customer service, just doing like a job where you're sitting on a computer all day, it's like you get restless, dude. You get really fucking restless, and sometimes you fucking hate it. But then some days you have like really good days where you're like, well, I'm doing all right, But I don't know, dude. It's up and down.
And I definitely see that. I've heard so many stories about kids flunking last year and this year because they can't stay focused because all the video games are in home, literally. Yeah. Elbows reach away from them. So they can't focus on their schoolwork when they got their Guitar Hero, and that shows how old I am. The Guitar Hero is still a thing. They got their video games.
Over there, dude.
I know that, but how long ago has it been dusted?
It's been a little bit, dude.
So with your job, do you think you're ever going to go back into an actual building?
I fucking hope not, dude. I fucking hope not, dude.
Now, is that for fear of the COVID, or just because I enjoy not driving a half hour every day?
Well, a little bit of both. A little bit of both. I'm not afraid of COVID.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of COVID. But I will say that place, like, when you're cramming in like 400 people into a fucking warehouse, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Like, people, like, when the flu season hits, dude, people are sick, dude. Like, you get sick every fucking year. Like, I got sick this year. But like, or last year, like in November, but like it wasn't nearly as bad as what I've had in the past. And like the fact that you're sharing the bathroom with all these people, like you're just like, all you're eating around them and stuff. It's just like, I think they're probably they still have the building at this point, which I don't think they're ever gonna not have the building. But like, they tried bringing everybody back in September. They started bringing back management. They started bringing back like people just in various positions, but like. They quickly closed it down once we went back into lockdown. And there's not been one single uttering of it. But I imagine once they start letting everything open, they'll try to bring everybody back. That's just the way they work, dude. Like you saw, and again, I don't talk about the name of the place on there.
And I haven't mentioned it.
Yeah, but you see what happened at the
other place where there was a Christmas party or something,
and nothing got shut down. Like they didn't close that place down. They'll never close it down.
I really wonder if our Lord...
I'll tell you some shit after. I have a story for you after, once we get done recording this, actually.
I'm not going to say whether I'm a Democrat or a Republican. I think I'm pretty decently in the middle. There's certain things one side does amazing, other side does amazing on other. But I will say I really hate Inslee.
Me too.
And I really wonder if our Lord and Savior, Inslee Christ, has stock in that certain company, because where all these mom and pop stores are in bars and everything else are being forced to shut down. But yet that place, yes, it employs a lot of people, and if anybody has to put food on their table, I believe they're essential. But the fact that certain places can stay open, certain places can't. I have a friend who works at another gigantic grocery chain. We'll call them support shop, if you will. they were just like, oh, I'm surprised I'm not getting hazard pay because I literally help hundreds of people every day. All of them are touching stuff, handing me money, and wiping their nose at the same time, and I'm surprised I hadn't got it.
Wow.
So, yeah, I think Inslee has stock in certain companies.
I think he does. Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Thanks, Robin Hood.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Robin Hood. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, man, if like.
Let me add this word. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Okay.
It's very key. Whenever I have Brandon Allen on here, I always gotta throw out the word allegedly a lot. I straight up I'm throwing the warning on there now on every single episode, but that warning was specifically made for Brandon.
And bless Brandon.
God bless Brandon Allen. he loves it, dude.
God, I still Facebook talk to him quite a bit, and we share memes whenever he's not in Facebook jail. But I don't think I've seen him since Spin This.
Really? Wow,
yeah,
dude.
It's been a while.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Well,
when you put another man's fingers in your mouth and you just taste nonstop cigarettes, you kind of need to call it a day and suspend the relationship for a while.
You know what's funny, dude? It's so fucking funny. Like I was cooking Southwest tacos before you came out here to like record, and like I could like kind of smell the food, the food smell. It was like shrimp tacos basically, with like Tex-Mex like type of like seasoning on there. And I smelt it on me, and like I was like, "Damn, dude, I got like an incense in here," because it kind of smelled like, I was like, "Man, if there was ever a smell that I could identify as Brandon Allen, Tex-Mex shrimp tacos is it, dude."
Honey, is that a new cologne? Yeah, chili cheese Fritos, baby.
Baby. Fucking A, Timmy. Well, I guess that's where we're gonna end it, dude.
All right,
we'll end it right here, man. You have any plugs? Any final words?
You can still hear me at Cats FM doing the morning show with my Captain Captain Toddy Lyons Esquire. Been in radio for over 20 years now.
Damn.
Really no word on the Manic Thunder front. All of us are still living life, doing our own thing. I'm very happy we decided to button up our regular show when we did before a pandemic, because Lord knows it would have been gone. And we ended it on a very, very high note. Everybody, from what I've talked to, is doing well. Everybody's still working.
That's awesome.
And doing great there. We have talked about like, when the pandemic's over, we should try to do something, and we might. I'm never saying never to that. I will say with all 8, 9 of us, however many there was at the very end, it's tough to get our schedules coordinated. So. I'm told you a little bit off air. I'm working on my own idea for a podcast, and
dude.
The only thing I got hammered down is you can't talk about that with Timmy. I hope to have it out before October, and you better be a co-host a couple times on there.
We'll bring you back on the podcast to promote it when you
Cool.
debut it, dude, for sure.
Cool. So stay tuned on that for more. And I'm on Facebook, Tim Hubert, but I hate Facebook. So
fuck Facebook, dude. I haven't been on Facebook in over a week, dude. I've only been on there just for a few minutes, just like post the podcast, and that's it, dude.
I definitely have unfollowed so many friends because of either pro-Trump or anti-Trump. And I must say, once again, I'll probably take some more flack from it, but when one party claims to be the party of love and I hear nonstop hatred coming from them, that's tough. That's really tough. And the fact that both sides are so blind by the hypocriticalness of their comment, that's tough, man. And that's sad, because I've had family members decide to not talk to other family members because of it.
Wow.
One thing I will plug, The Social Dilemma, I believe was the name of it. It's a Netflix documentary about Facebook and social media and how it turns people into echo chambers. And holy crap, if you ever want to kind of like, why is my emotions feeling this way when normally I don't give a crap? Oh man, watch that show. That one teaches you so much, and it's very scary. Anyway, so now whenever I post on Facebook, it's usually some type of wacky meme or funny comment, or The Offspring's coming out with a new album, so I was pretty stoked about that.
Are they really?
They finally announced it yesterday.
Oh, was that yesterday?
Oh, it was
I haven't been online for the last week, dude, so I didn't even hear that.
Dude, check this out. This is how I know. My band has always been Real Big Fish.
I love Real Big Fish.
Weird Al Yankovic, and The Offspring. Okay? The Offspring just proved, and I've never seen a Real Big Fish show, a concert in person.
Dude, really?
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen them
they're on my bucket list.
I've seen them on fucking 5 or 6 times, dude.
Oh man,
Like,
they were my.
I've seen him so many times.
They're my bucket list, and I so badly want to see them. But like I said, I went and I saw The Offspring back. I don't remember what month it was, but it was right before the pandemic hit, and they did an acoustic show. And man, first off, that was the most non-Offspring concert I've ever done. They did so many covers.
Oh, that's cool.
They even did like, oh god, I'm gonna lose my radio cred. The Chain, I think Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
They
I like
did that, and they
Yeah.
rocked it, and they got done, and they're just like, I think that's the first time there's been a mosh pit to Fleetwood Mac song.
It's dope, dude.
And anyway, freaking amazing concert. Probably, I'd say within the top 5 concerts I've ever been to, just for my happiness level. But anyway, check this. This was their promo picture for the new Offspring album. Check that out.
Oh, that's fucking cool, dude. It's like Batman.
Exactly. They have their flaming skull symbol in the shape of, or in the Batman bat signal against the night sky. But even cooler, look at the city landscape. Look at that real close.
Is it Toronto? I don't know.
No. If you look, those are speakers and sound gear.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
That's badass.
That's cool.
They actually took microphones and speakers and power amps and whatnot and built kind of a little city landscape for the Offspring symbol to fly through there. And they put that on their Twitter feed yesterday and just said, hey, the new album's coming. We have a label. We have a name. We have all the songs done. We will tell you more as soon as our label gives us permission to do so. So we've been waiting, almost like 9 years for a new Offspring.
Has it been that long since they dropped an album?
It's either 2013 or 2011 since Days Go By. They dropped the Coming For You song, I want to say in 2015.
Okay.
And we all got hopes like, oh, this is a great song. I mean, that one was just badass. And the video with the clowns fighting the mime was a fucking epic video. But so Offspring coming out a new one. I like to plug their album. Not that I own any stock in Offspring. I'd love to, but still.
Fucking A, dude. I love you so much, man.
Love you too, man. Thank you.
You're welcome on the podcast whenever you want, man. We'll have you back for your podcast when that drops. And fucking A, dude. We'll see you guys all next time. Peace.
This podcast has been brought to you by Pizon Productions.